Hi everyone, I'm Lisa, a 27-year-old marketing executive at Thompson and Associates. 2 years ago, my life took an unexpected turn when I met James Miller at a corporate event. He was charming, successful, and seemed like the perfect match. Our relationship moved quickly. Coffee dates turned into dinner dates, and before I knew it, we were spending every weekend together. "You're different from anyone I've ever met," James would say, holding my hand across the table. His words made my heart flutter. Little did I know what I was really getting into. Everything was perfect until I met his mother, Eleanor Miller. She arrived unannounced at one of our dinner dates, dressed in designer clothes and wearing a smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. "Oh, so this is the girl you've been seeing." "I pictured someone different," she said, her words dripping with barely concealed judgment. My best friend Teresa noticed it right away. "Girl, did you see how she looked at you when you mentioned your promotion? Like you just said you worked at a fast food joint," she said later. "Maybe she's just protective," I defend, though Teresa always shook her head. "No, honey, that woman is marking her territory." James's sister, Sarah, was a different story. She pulled me aside at family gatherings, squeezing my arm reassuringly. "Don't let mom get to you. She does this to everyone." But the red flags were hard to ignore. Eleanor would forget to set a place for me at family dinners or conveniently exclude me from family photos. When I brought it up to James, he'd shrug. "Baby, that's just how mom is. She'll warm up to you eventually." Things escalated when James proposed. Eleanor immediately took over the engagement party planning. "No, no, dear," she said, brushing off my suggestions. "You couldn't possibly understand our family traditions. I'll handle everything." "But I thought we could plan it together," I ventured. "Oh, sweetie, you're so busy with your little job." "Let me take care of it," she replied with that condescending smile. James, standing awkwardly nearby, avoided eye contact. "Mom knows best," he muttered. Even Sarah tried to warn me. She did this with James' ex too, started small, then got worse. Teresa, as usual, didn't hold back. "Are you seriously letting her run your engagement party?" "Girl, this is just the beginning." I watched helplessly as Eleanor took over every detail: the venue, the guest list, the menu. She even tried to choose my dress. "The blue one makes you look more appropriate," she said, her tone saccharine but her eyes cold. Now, with the engagement party a week away, I'm watching Eleanor transform what should be our celebration into her show. James insists I'm overreacting, but Teresa and Sarah see it too. Something tells me this party is going to be unforgettable, just not in the way I'd hoped. "Just remember, Teresa told me yesterday you're marrying James, not his mother." But lately, I wonder if that's really true, because it feels like I'm signing up for both, and Eleanor Miller is making it very clear who's in charge. The engagement party was a spectacle straight out of Eleanor's playbook. Crystal chandeliers, extravagant floral arrangements, and her high society friends filling every corner of her mansion. I felt out of place the moment I walked in, especially when I saw she'd rearranged the seating chart to put me at a corner table, far from James. "Darling, you understand, don't you? The Andersons simply must sit with James. There's such important business connections." Throughout the night, Eleanor made sure everyone knew who was in control. She interrupted my conversations with guests, redirecting them to James' achievements. "Isn't he just perfect? And to think he's building his empire all by himself," she'd say, emphasizing by himself while glancing at me dismissively. The breaking point came during her speech. I was standing near the dessert table when she approached, coffee cup in hand. Mid-sentence, she began to talk about welcoming new family members who understand our standards. The silence was deafening when Eleanor suddenly tripped, spilling hot coffee all over my cream-colored dress. The liquid seeped into the fabric, leaving a dark stain as I stood there, mortified. "Oh my, look what you made me do," Eleanor gasped theatrically, clutching her chest as though she were the victim. "Quick, clean this up before it stains my imported carpet." I froze, the coffee dripping down my dress. "On your knees, dear," she instructed, her voice loud enough to carry across the room. "That's the only way to properly clean it." "James, darling, get her some towels," Eleanor demanded. James stepped forward hesitantly, his face pale. "Mom, maybe we should." "James, my carpet. Do you know how much it costs? Lisa needs to clean up her mess." I turned to James, silently pleading for him to intervene, but he simply handed me the towels, avoiding my eyes. It's easier if we just do what she says, he whispered. From across the room, I caught Sarah subtly recording the scene on her phone. Then Teresa pushed through the crowd, grabbing my arm. We're leaving. Now. But the party. It's over. For you, Teresa said firmly, steering me out the door. As we drove away, my phone buzzed. Sarah had sent me screenshots of texts between James and Eleanor from the past month. She's not right for you, darling. Did you see how she embarrassed us at the country club? Mom, Lisa's trying her best. Best isn't good enough for a Miller. Remember Caroline? She knew how to behave in our circles. The messages painted a chilling picture. Eleanor had sabotaged the venue booking by pretending to be my wedding planner. She told the caterer we wanted to go in a different direction. She had even contacted my boss under the guise of concern about my work hours. Another text from Sarah came in. I found something else. Mom's been meeting with Caroline. She's trying to get her back with James. Teresa tightened her grip on the steering wheel. You need to see this for what it is. She humiliated you in front of everyone, and James let it happen. As if on cue, my phone lit up again. James's message read, Mom's upset you left early. She says you're being dramatic about a little accident. Maybe you should apologize. That's when I knew. This wasn't just about coffee on a dress. This was Eleanor showing me exactly who she was, and James showing me exactly who he wasn't. The next morning, I met Patricia, James's ex-fiancée, over coffee in a quiet diner. She stirred her drink nervously. I should have warned you when I heard about the engagement, she said. Eleanor didn't just break us up, she systematically destroyed my life. Patricia shared stories eerily similar to mine. She made me clean spilled wine at their Christmas party, called me a gold digger at our engagement party. By the end, I lost a promotion and had to move cities. Sarah joined us, dropping a folder on the table. You need to see this, she said grimly. Mom doesn't just control James emotionally, she's the silent partner in his business. She funds everything through family loans. He can't make a single decision without her approval. Back at work, the fallout began. Clients canceled meetings. My boss called me in. Someone's expressed concerns about your reliability. Care to explain these calls about your unstable behavior during work hours? Teresa helped me document everything. The phone calls, the rumors, the sabotage. Look at this pattern, she pointed out. She's done the same thing to Sarah's college boyfriend, James's high school girlfriend, even their cousin's fiancé. Anyone who threatens her control gets eliminated. I confronted James at his office, presenting the evidence. These are ridiculous accusations, he snapped. Mom's looking out for me. You're just jealous of our close relationship. Close relationship? She's suffocating you, James. She controls your business, your relationships, your entire life. At least she's family, he retorted. You're just someone who clearly doesn't understand our world. Later that night, Sarah called, her voice shaking. I found something while going through Mom's office. She's been forging signatures on business documents. The Miller family business isn't as clean as everyone thinks. Eleanor's next move was bold. She showed up at my office, uninvited. I'm willing to forget this unfortunate situation if you walk away quietly, she said with a razor-sharp smile. Otherwise, I have friends in many places. Your career, your reputation, such fragile things. That night, I spread everything out on my dining table. Documentation, testimonies, and proof of Eleanor's manipulation. Teresa sat beside me, flipping through the pages. Girl, you know what you have to do, she said. You're right, I replied. I deserve better than this. I drafted a message to James. I won't be another victim of your mother's games. I choose myself. The ring will be returned through my lawyer. Don't contact me again. Sarah sent me one last text. You're doing the right thing. I wish I was as strong as you. That night, I stared at my reflection in the mirror and saw something I hadn't seen in months myself. Not Eleanor's puppet, not James's conflicted fiancé. Just me, the woman who refused to kneel any longer. Teresa hugged me tightly. This isn't the end, you know. It's your new beginning. For the first time since the coffee incident, I smiled. Because this time, the mess I was cleaning up wasn't on my knees. It was on my terms. I didn't need to do anything else. Karma had already started its work. Sarah's video of the coffee incident went viral within our social circle, capturing Eleanor's calculated cruelty in crystal clear detail. Her cold commands, my humiliation, the shocked faces of the guests, all laid bare. Did you see how Eleanor treated that poor girl? People whispered. I always knew something was off about her. The whispers turned into roars when Eleanor's business rivals got wind of her fraudulent practices. Mr. Richardson, a longtime competitor, reached out to me during a chance meeting. You weren't the first person she tried to destroy, he said with a grim smile, but you'll definitely be the last. James's business partners started pulling out, one after another. Teresa, with her connections in finance, kept me updated. They're discovering years of Eleanor's interference in deals, she reported. Your mother's signature is on documents she had no authority to sign, one partner said. This isn't just unethical, it's illegal. Then came my own sweet victory. Remember my little job Eleanor loved to dismiss. Well, guess who just got headhunted by Miller Enterprises' biggest competitor? We've been watching your work, my new CEO told me during the interview, and we value people who stand up for themselves. One afternoon, Sarah called me, laughing through tears. Mom just got uninvited from the charity board she's chaired for 15 years. They said her recent behavior doesn't align with their values. From a safe distance, I watched Eleanor's carefully constructed world crumble. The country club suddenly had no tables available when she called. Her bridge group disbanded. Even her gardening circle found a new leader. James, of course, tried to reach out. He showed up at my new office one afternoon, looking disheveled and remorseful. I was wrong, he said, his voice shaking. I see it all now, what she did to you, to us. Please, can we try again? I looked him in the eye, calm and resolute. The coffee stains came out of my dress, I told him. But the memory of you standing there, doing nothing, that's permanent. Sarah finally moved out of the family mansion. We meet for coffee every week now. Real coffee, with no hidden agendas or power plays. You gave me the courage to break free, she told me last week. I'm starting my own business, away from family money. Yesterday, I saw Eleanor at a restaurant. She was sitting alone, her designer outfit still impeccable, but her table conspicuously empty. Our eyes met briefly. I smiled, not out of cruelty, but because I felt nothing. No anger, no fear, no need for revenge. Sometimes the best revenge isn't about getting even. It's about getting better. Eleanor wanted me on my knees, but I rose higher than she ever imagined. And the view from up here, absolutely perfect.